Okay, members, any
Chair,
question?
Yes, Chair, as the statement holder and an individual who has been mentioned adversely, kindly if you can give me a few minutes to just ask some clarifications, and maybe, I don't know if they will answer or they will list them all down and then we'll expect the answers at the end. Maybe you can guide, Chair.
Let's all ask, and then he will respond. Please.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, for clarity, I think all the members sitting in this House, their job is representation and oversight. And in that representation and oversight, we also end up either facilitating or ensuring that those who have been wale wamenyanyaswa wanapata haki yao. Chair, it is because of that that I have been involved in this, because a huge group of individuals from my constituency, Bobasi, have actually fallen prey to being conned, whether by the bad agents or the ministry or what. That is why this inquiry is there. And that is why, after reaching out to the Cabinet Secretary of Labor and also to the Director General of National Employment Authority, Chair, and I did not get satisfactory answers, Chair, I brought a statement to the floor of the House, which has now probed this investigation, which I know that Kenyans want to hear the answers. Chair, I have 4 questions that I would like to pose to the Cabinet Secretary. Question number 1, Chair. We have a government program where we have seen the Cabinet Secretary going to different countries to negotiate bilateral agreements, to negotiate for jobs, for job seekers in Kenya. Those trips are financed by the taxpayer. Those trips by the whole team of the Ministry of Labor and the Cabinet Secretary are actually financed by the people of Kenya. Chair, when the Cabinet Secretary reaches there, we have been informed that negotiations have been done and we have gotten a certain number of, for instance, nurses from Canada or Australia or wherever, or sometimes he goes to United Arab Emirates, negotiates jobs for Kenyans. But Chair, my question then becomes, when these jobs under the government-to-government program are negotiated and are secured by the government, once the jobs are secured, Chair, can we get a very clear explanation of how those jobs then trickle down to Kenyans? Because what I am aware of, having partnered with the National Employment Authority, and I've also had the Cabinet Secretary say that the work of government is not to be agents, what I'm aware is that we negotiate for the G2G jobs as government, the jobs arrive in Kenya, and then the jobs are given to the commercial agents who then sell back the jobs to the Kenyan people. That is why you are now being told of administrative fees. So my question is, can he be able to articulate and tell us when he goes to negotiate for jobs and he gets 1,000 nursing jobs, how do those jobs trickle down to the Kenyans? Question number 2. I think for all the Kenyans listening, including this committee, this is the first time we have gotten numbers, actual figures of how many people have been successful in this whole program. For the first time, we're being told that there was 300 people who were flagged off to go to, was it Saudi Arabia? And also, we are being informed of another 300 people. And I've also had the Cabinet Secretary talk of, was it 70 or was it 60 people who flew out this Saturday. And it is important to note that that was after the probe, the Senate probe began. Chair, my question to the Cabinet Secretary is, when you are running a program, how difficult is it for you to be able to track and give a list of every successful candidate who has gone through that program and who has traveled? And if it is so difficult, how then will you be able to track those Kenyans who are out there, who are being subjected to all sorts of craziness, including slavery, if your own government program cannot even table to the Senate committee a list of the successful people that you have been able to take out there? So I've heard you said you need 7 days to give us a simple list of the number of people who have gone. Chair, we live in this country. The members here will attest that when KICC recruitment was going on, the fourth estate was here. They showed us a long queue of youth, surmounting to thousands, yes, cabinet secretary. It was thousands at KICC. We saw a recruitment in the church that was the other day when there was a pronunciation. There were hundreds of people. So my question is, in all these recruitment drives, we have seen you working very hard, cabinet secretary, going to every other county, Kisumu, wherever, all these counties you've gone to recruit in partnerships with the agents. Don't you have data that you are tracking, that you can give? That is what I was expecting. I was expecting you to come here and slap us with the truth and tell us, in fact, this is so successful. These are the number of people we removed in Kisumu. These are the number of people who have gone. So, Chair, my question is, if the ministry cannot track data as it's running its program, how will they track the Kenyans who are already out there suffering? Question number 3. Chair, the National Employment Authority has been ahead of this. I have heard the Cabinet Secretary saying that government is not an agency. I have heard him saying that government is not in charge of, recruiting or giving people jobs. Then my question is, what is the role of the National Employment Authority? And if we can be given the role of the National Employment Authority in relation to this recruitment drive. Chair, I ask this because when I partnered with the National Employment Authority, including the posters that he has said and the videos, which are there, yes, they are there, in partnership with the National Employment Authority, it is that authority that is vetting the agents. It is that authority that is also vetting what you have heard him saying, the job orders. It is that authority that will be able to tell you that government has a bilateral agreement or does not have a bilateral agreement with certain countries. Chair, this weekend, and maybe I'm wrong, the Cabinet Secretary is here, he can now correct that. Those 60 people who have traveled out of this country have gone to Iraq. We have this same government rescuing people from Iraq. So my question is, what is the role of the National Employment Authority? Because they cannot also sit and say that their role is just to regulate and give licenses, yet they are the same ones who are also posting jobs on their websites. They are the same ones who are also endorsing some of the agents who I see here who have conned Kenyans. We need to get clarity so that us as legislators and representatives of the people can be able to do our work the way we are supposed to do. Finally, Chair, as I submit.
The last one. And,
yes, Chair, I'm the statement holder, and I'm very passionate about this because you can see now they want to start frightening me.
Yeah, the others also.
Telling me they are going to remove me as a senator, because I'm playing my job. That one, I bring it on. Chair, let me say this. We have an agent. We have many agents. The one that I can point out, because I have had an interaction through the people who came to my office. This Global Face Human Resource Chair, which I'm glad Waziri Mutua has actually said that he's not sure if we are talking about the same person. You see, this is the drama that we subject Kenyans to. Global Face Human Resource has a director by the name Festus. Whether Omwamba or Omambia or whatever, it is Festus, they are aware.
Am I allowed to do a point of order?
Chair,
because you can't put words in my mouth.
Chair, I have to. He can respond. He has an opportunity to respond.
Yeah.
All a minute, let her finish.
Yeah.
She's just about to finish.
Chair,
can you tell the truth, because this is a House of Records?
Yeah.
Tell the truth. You don't have to lie to the
Chair,
gallery just because there are cameras.
I will be held accountable for every word. And Chair, you have seen me sitting. I have no business in this country, Chair. So, Chair, I want to ask. In his submissions that we have in writing, they have said that they are only aware of one Festus Omwambia. The spelling is a mistake between a W and an IA. That is the only difference that we have. Otherwise, the company is the same, the individual is the same, but the Cabinet Secretary is trying to come to this committee to tell us that, okay, maybe if you're talking about the Festus with an IA, that one we don't know. But us, we know the Festus with the WA. Chair, at the end of this inquiry, because I've seen Mr. Festus, I've seen his photos out there, it is the same Festus. And it is the same company that is calling people. and they are still licensed. So I want to ask this question to the Cabinet Secretary and to the Director General of National Employment Authority. Because it's no longer a game. We are playing with Kenyans' lives. It's not about a game of WA or IA. It is about people getting conned, people committing suicide. It's about families being broken.
Okay.
And you cannot come here to tell us that the Festus you're referring to is an IA and our Festus is a WA. It doesn't matter because at the police station, his fingerprints are taken and his fingerprints are the same. So we want to know that the National Employment Authority is safeguarding Kenyans from rogue agents, not this drama.
You have made your point. You have made your point. So that was the fourth point and last. Any other member? And please make it brief.
Okay, Chair.